In this video, I'm going to rank every single season assault rifle in Fortnite history from worst to best. Simply put, these are assault rifles that were only featured in a single season of Fortnite and haven't been seen since, of course, in Battle Royale exclusively. I got to give a quick note here. Obviously, no Chapter 6 Season 2 assault rifles. They've only had, obviously, one season in the game, and they haven't had a chance to return. So yeah, Chapter 6 Season 2 ARs are off the list. And crucially, I'm not going to include the character-specific mythics. So think like Ice Spice's Scar, Emma Frost Striker Burst, Nisha Striker AR, those types of weapons. These assault rifles are tied to certain characters who, are 99% of the time only in the game for one season, so it wouldn't make sense for me to rank them since they'll never have the opportunity for the most part to ever come back. If you'd like to see me do this with other weapon classes, let me know in the comment section down below, and make sure you watch till the end because I'm telling you, I did not have a definitive #1 spot when I was making this list. Be sure to use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop, and let's get right into this ranking. At number 13, in my opinion, the worst single season assault rifle in Fortnite history. It shouldn't come as a surprise from Chapter 2 Season 6. It's the makeshift rifle. Look, if I'm going to get the opportunity to dog on Chapter 2 Season 6, I'm absolutely going to do it. But look, put the bias aside here. The makeshift rifle is just flat out a bad weapon, and it was really designed to be a bad weapon, as were all the makeshift items. Just terrible accuracy, terrible damage. Everything around the board is not good. This is just supposed to be a platform weapon that you're supposed to use to craft up to a better version. The makeshift rifle is not only one of the worst single season assault rifles of all time, it's just straight up one of the worst ARs we've ever seen. At number 12 is the First Order Blaster Rifle. This is an interesting one because the First Order Blaster Rifle itself was only in Chapter 2 Season 1. But as you guys know, the E11 Blaster, which has been in multiple seasons, is basically the exact same weapon, just with a different name and a different look to it. But going by the books, yes, the First Order Blaster Rifle was only in Chapter 2 Season 1 and hasn't come back since, which is a little surprising to me because we've had so many Star Wars collabs over and over again. But let's be real here, it's for the better. Again, you're going to see with a lot of these bottom weapons, horrible accuracy, and you really just can't have a good assault rifle that has bad accuracy. It just never works out that way. And yeah, the First Order Blaster Rifle just underperforms in every single category. This shouldn't be a surprise again that it's at the bottom of this list. Moving on to number 11 from Chapter 5 Season 3 is the Tri-Beam Laser Rifle. And as I just said, it was in Chapter 5 Season 3 and yeah, hasn't come back since. I really don't know how this weapon makes it into every single one of my ranking videos. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk about the Tri-Beam Laser Rifle, so I'll keep it quite brief. But there is a small army of you guys that defended this weapon in the comment section down below, and I just don't understand it. Yes, like you can fire off a bunch of shots before it overheats. That fire rate is pitifully slow. It's really hard for me to pick out something that I actually like about this weapon. I know a lot of you guys think the same way, but not all of you for some reason. Number 10 is going to be another laser weapon, the DC-15 Blaster Rifle. Only seen in Chapter 4 Season 2, and to be honest with you, I could have sworn this thing came back in Chapter 5, but I guess I was wrong because the Fortnite Wiki says it was only in Chapter 4 Season 2, and so here it is on this list. It's decent, I guess, right? Like, it is a projectile weapon. It is extremely difficult to hit those shots, but you are rewarded with good damage, which is not something I can say for the Tri-Beam Laser Rifle. But anyways, if you're able to string together, 2 or 3 shots in a row, yeah, the DC-15 Blaster Rifle is going to do it for you. I think at that, kind of medium to maybe even close range where you don't have to worry about that projectile traveling through the air, just waiting for it to hit somebody. Yeah, I think you could actually do decent work. But at long ranges, yeah, just chuck this thing to the side. You're never going to use it. At number 9, and wow, look at this. It's the Primal Assault Rifle. Only seen in Chapter 2 Season 6. Wow, you Chapter 2 Season 6 lovers can rejoice in the comment section. Just look at this. Ty actually did not put a Chapter 2 Season 6 weapon in the bottom of the list. I mean, I guess I did with the makeshift rifle, but you get what I'm saying. But all, kind of trolls aside, the Primal Assault Rifle I felt like was one of the better weapons in Primal. And, look, I've said this in plenty of videos. There are only a couple of weapons I feel like you could take out of Chapter 2 Season 6 and put in a different Fortnite season and them actually be, somewhat usable. I think those weapons are like the Primal SMG, Shockwave Bow, which has come back in different seasons, and the Primal Assault Rifle. Now, I don't know if it was like good just because everything else was so bad and you had no other options, but you could make an argument that the Primal Assault Rifle was competing against some of those higher tier mechanical assault rifles. And yes, while the accuracy still wasn't there, the damage definitely was, especially in those purple and legendary versions. You're basically looking at scar damage here. Yeah, the Primal Assault Rifle is actually one of the good things that I have to say about Chapter 2 Season 6. But anyways, moving on to the number 8 spot, that's going to be be the Flapjack Rifle. I almost never talk about this weapon because it just never really ends up in any of my videos, but as I'm sure all you guys know, the Flapjack Rifle was in Chapter 4, Season 3, and yeah, that's it. This is a really weird weapon, right? Because you get a decent fire rate and you get decent accuracy. Actually, probably better than decent accuracy if we're being honest. And you get that big, you know, plate magazine on top with a ton of bullets. So you can almost kind of treat it like, I don't know, like a hybrid AR SMG. You could definitely jump in somebody's box with this weapon and still do good damage. My only real problem that holds the Flapjack Rifle from being any higher is that horizontal recoil. Everybody knows vertical recoil is easy to control, but horizontal is not. And this weapon is just shaking left to right. Like I'm sure you'll see in some of the gameplay, even with the best players who are able to have the best aim in the world, the Flapjack Rifle is still up in the air. Like it just feels out of control sometimes. The Flapjack Rifle was not for me because I prefer precise assault rifles, and I would rather take something that's accurate at long range than being kind of mid at long range and then mid at close range. You guys get what I'm saying? Like I'll take great at long range but horrible at close range, then medium at long range and medium at close range. But let me know your guys' thoughts on that in the comment section down below. At number 7 is the Burst Pulse Rifle, the first exotic on this list, only featured in Chapter 2 Season 7 and then vaulted for Chapter 2 Season 8 and ever since then, really. Again, this is another weapon that I swore was in a different season of Fortnite, but I'm wrong. It's okay. Like the burst delay is extremely slow. Not only the burst delay, but the 2 bullets coming out of this weapon are coming out terribly slow, but you do have first shot accuracy and you are getting big time damage. So if you are able to hit those 2 shots in the burst back to back, you are going to be rewarded significantly for it. It's just like, is there anybody out there that's like really in love with the Burst Pulse Rifle? Like anybody that's like, oh, this is my favorite assault rifle of all time, it's so good? Like, no, it's just kind of mid. It falls in the middle of like every single assault rifle list I make, and that holds true here. At number 6 is actually our most recent entry on this list from Chapter 6 Season 1 is the Fury Assault Rifle. And honestly, you guys might have totally forgotten about the Fury Assault Rifle. It's a forgettable weapon just mainly because of the hollow twister, right? I'm dead serious what I'm about to say here, and let me know what you guys think about this. I think the Fury Assault Rifle may be one of, if not the least used weapons in Fortnite history. I mean, like, I can probably count the amount of times on my fingers that I got killed by the Fury Assault Rifle in Chapter 6 Season 1. It just didn't happen. The hollow twister was so much better, but that doesn't mean that you can count out the Fury Assault Rifle on its own as being a bad weapon, because it's actually not. It's very similar to how the collateral damage assault rifle works in Chapter 6 Season 2. Very fast fire rate, not terribly accurate, and really not great at mid to long ranges, but you're gonna absolutely fry at close range, and there are times when the Fury Assault Rifle was better than the hollow twister. It's just, that's only like 5% of situations. 95% of the time, you're gonna run the hollow twister, and that stays the same in Chapter 6 Season 2 with the collateral damage assault rifle. At my number 5 spot today, guys, I'm gonna go with the Evochrome Burst Assault Rifle from Chapter 3 Season 4. This is a fantastic assault rifle. Like, I'm just gonna say it, and the only reason it's not higher up on this list is because in those, you know, green and blue rarities, this weapon really struggles. But once you start going, you know, purple, gold, and especially mythic, this thing is going to absolutely delete people. Every time I talk about the Evochrome weapons, I mention that I can't understand why they have not brought back the system with the Evochrome assault rifle and the Evochrome shotgun, where doing more damage lets you upgrade your weapon to a higher rarity, right? Like, it gives players an incentive to go out there and fight as many people as possible and do as much damage as possible. I think it's a great mechanic that for some reason hasn't come back. I don't understand why. But yeah, like I said, like in those early versions of the Evochrome, it's just not great, and it really gets outclassed, especially by assault rifles like the Hammer. But in those purple, legendary, and mythic versions, I think you're going to struggle to find a better assault rifle really in Chapter 3 as a whole. All right, well, I kind of forgot the pre-nerf MK7 existed in Chapter 3, but my point still stands. You guys get what I'm saying. Moving on to number 4 is our second exotic on this list. It is the Heisted Explosive Assault Rifle. Yes, this weapon has come back in Reload, but no, it has not come back in Battle Royale. And as I stated in the beginning of this video, and really in all videos on my channel, we look at Battle Royale only. And the Heisted Explosive Assault Rifle was only in Chapter 4 Season 2. It's a pretty solid assault rifle. Like, I don't really have a ton of complaints if I had to be nitpicky about it, and I ranked this weapon a ton of times in previous videos, so if you guys are avid watchers of the channel, you'll probably know what I'm about to say. It's that horribly slow fire rate and that horribly slow projectile speed. It takes forever for that bullet to get to your target. But the huge advantage you get here is you can actually do splash damage. So even if you're at close range, you can hip fire them, just shoot it at the wall, and you can do damage to them. I'm not crazy high on this weapon, but I'm also not crazy low on this, and it is certainly not the worst assault rifle on this list by any stretch of the imagination. At number 3 is the Warforged AR, only found in Chapter 5, Season 2, and yeah, vaulted after that. I feel like this assault rifle is very similar to something like the Flapjack rifle in the sense of like you're getting good damage. It's just the horizontal recoil on this thing is crazy. Like, yes, you can put attachments on it to negate that. You can put, you know, a red dot, a grip on it, and this assault rifle becomes a lot better. This is just an assault rifle that I think players are just really going to forget about. Again, this is another just kind of painfully mid assault rifle. At my number 2 spot today, guys, I've got the MK Alpha assault rifle. Normally, this is a weapon that always places super low on my videos, but that's because it's going up against absolute titan weapons. But when it's going up against, let's just be honest here, a pretty mid selection of assault rifles, it places really high on this list. And really, it is just a worse version of the MK7 assault rifle, but that doesn't mean it's bad, right? Like, you still get the red dot sight, you still get a hyper accurate assault rifle, and yes, you do get a little bit more recoil. Most of it is just vertical, which is very easy to control, especially if you're on controller. You just pull that right stick down, you'll have no problem handling this weapon. My only complaint with the MK Alpha is it just is worse than the MK7, but now that the MK7 is not on this list, well, yeah, the MK Alpha actually places really high. And at my number 1 spot today on this video, this was a really hard choice, to be honest with you. I'm going to go with the Pulse Rifle. Just the base blue through legendary Pulse Rifle. Obviously, there are a ton of mythic versions that were in a bunch of different seasons, but I'm going with just strictly the base Pulse Rifle. And the fact that this is a hit scan weapon and hasn't been tainted like the Stark Industries rifle was when it came back in Chapter 5 and became a projectile weapon, well, yeah, that actually really helps the Pulse Rifle's case. And this is really just a better version of the Chapter 2 Season 4 version of the Stark Industries rifle, and I really can't pick anything that I don't like about the Pulse Rifle. Incredibly accurate, great first shot accuracy, obscene damage. I mean, 2 shots and you're basically going to take out somebody who doesn't have shield, and with that faster fire rate from the hip, it can also be used at close range. It was definitely a tough decision, but I just couldn't put any weapon ahead of the Pulse Rifle on this list, and so that's why it is at the number 1 spot today. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video. Again, let me know if you would like to see this with, you know, I don't know, like the shotgun weapon class or the SMG weapon class, because I could absolutely do that. If you did go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave it a like and subscribe. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers, and we are over 4/5 of the way there somehow. So thank you so much for the support on all the content, and as you guys know, there will be more videos just like this coming in the future. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, peace.